learning outcome 15 is about the uses that we can make of radiation. Now, we could actually talk for ages about this, but we'll concentrate on it in a forum. Important uses, and most of them are medical. Radiation is a huge part now of modern medicine, used in lots of different ways for both treatment and diagnosis, as we'll see. So, first of all, we're going to talk about treatment known as radiotherapy. So radiotherapy literally means using radiation to kill cancer cells. There are two types of radiotherapy. There's radiotherapy that occurs from outside the body, which by definition has got to be gamma radiation. But the problem we have there is if you shine the radiation, say at a tumour in the middle of the body, you're going to affect the healthy tissue, which is in the path of the beam that you're shining the radiation from. So we usually get round that by shining the radiation from lots of different sides, so that the middle bit, as I'll show you in a diagram in a wee second, receives the most amount of radiation, and the surrounding healthy tissue doesn't get as much radiation. Oops. Here's our definition of radiotherapy. So this can be done from outside the body, which means gamma radiation's got to use. In from many different angles, so that surrounding healthy tissue isn't damaged as much. We can't prevent all damage. So if you imagine this was a slice through somebody's body, and the tumour you're aiming for is in the middle here. Then what we would do is you have the machine which is emitting a ray of radiation. So you would fire that in from lots of different angles. So fire it in from that angle, move it round a bit, fire from that angle, etc. Okay, I'm not going to draw every single possible angle, but you could have all lots of angles in between these ones as well. And what that means is the area around the tumour, right, has been hit with 4 times as much radiation as the surrounding healthy tissue. And just to be clear, this is a gamma source, so that it can actually penetrate the body and make it to the tumour. The other alternative is that you can actually introduce the sources directly into the body. They can be in liquid form, which happens to gather in the bit of the body that you're interested in, or it can mean actual surgery where you implant a small source directly into the tumour. And they're more likely to be alpha sources, possibly beta sources, so that you want a short range effect there, i.e. if you stick a source in the middle of the tumour, you only want it being absorbed by the tumour and not by the surrounding healthy tissue. Okay, so that's radiotherapy, and that's for treating somebody who already has cancer. Another use that we can make of radiation is sterilisation. So if you go back in history before sterilisation when radiation was widespread, then what you'll find is all the surgical instruments involved, so syringes and scalpels, etc., were all made of metal, because to sterilise them they had to put them in an oven, very high temperatures, to make sure that any bacteria on them were killed. Nowadays what we tend to do is to use plastic instruments with metal bits on them, but it's a lot cheaper to do it that way. So you might have the scalpel blade as metal but the handle is plastic, etc. Obviously you can't put that in an oven to sterilise it, but what you can do is seal it in a bag. So medical instruments are sealed, just in a kind of plastic bag, like say crisp packet sort of idea, right? Sealed it inside that, then irradiated from outside to kill all bacteria. And because it's now sealed in a bag, it will stay sterile until you open the bag. So basically all bacteria within the air inside that bag will be killed by a high dose of radiation from outside the bag. And it stays then until it's ready to be used. Another idea, and there's a separate video on this, is tracers. And these are more for diagnosing problems. So for instance, if somebody's got a problem with blood flow within your body, then you can introduce a small amount of a radioactive material into the blood and then track it as it makes its way through the body. Now the best tracking is what we call a gamma camera, so it takes a kind of a live image of the blood as it flows through, and like I say, you've seen that in other videos. Once again, you want these to be gamma emitters because the radiation has to escape from inside the body. The other thing that you quite often asked about these though is that they have what's called a short half-life. Now we'll do half-life next, that's the idea, but basically a short lifetime, because you don't want the person being exposed to radiation for longer than they have to, because you're putting an actual source inside them. So usually a liquid source, but a source is introduced inside the body and images taken from outside using what's called a gamma camera. So it picks up gamma radiation. Obviously they've got to be gamma emitters. And that way you can track the flow of the source inside the body. For example, it could have been injected into the blood. Short lifetime sources are used. They've got to be long enough to do the actual investigation. So you want sources that maybe last for a couple of hours, for instance, long enough to do all the measurements that you need, but not much longer than that, to prevent the person, the patient, being exposed to too much radiation. Now that's very much focused on medical tracers. You can also use tracers in industry and agriculture, for instance. So you could introduce, say you had some underground pipes, you could introduce a tracer into them, and if there was a leak, then that would come up when you tracked the radiation being emitted. You would see it maybe coming out the pipe at a point. So you can use these investigations elsewhere as well. And the last use we'll look at is what we call industrial quality control. So for example, you can have, it's easier to show you a diagram, let's say you had a paper mill where they're trying to produce paper of a particular thickness by squeezing it through a couple of rollers. And what you might have is a source. Now if this was paper, that would probably be an alpha source. So you get very small amounts of radiation getting through depending on the thickness of the paper. But you then need a detector on the other side. And basically, as you're measuring the amount of radiation coming from the source, as the paper is fed through. And if the thickness changes, if it gets thicker, then less radiation will get through. If it gets thinner, more radiation will get through. And then you can send a signal back to the rollers. If the paper's getting too thick, push them a wee bit closer together. If it's getting too thin, separate them out a wee bit. So a source and detector. And this is just one example. You get lots of variations in this. I can't cover every single one. So the material is being rolled. So it's just passing between two rollers to control its thickness. If it's too thick, we'll record lower levels of radiation. So a signal can then be sent to the rollers to make the material thinner, i.e. squeeze the rollers together. And vice versa, like I said, if it's too thin. Okay, so there's the sorts of uses that we can put radiation to, and there's just a few small examples.